differential.
And in a close one like this, Greg, those can come back to bite you.
Ray Allen, he's checked in for the Rockets. Here's Barton. And an air ball on that one. Way off.
A little ambitious on that possession, trying to hit a shot in the face of that defensive pressure.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah,
And offensively, a great show for the fans through the first 3 quarters. It's been a fun game to watch. Pelicans lead by 9. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our 4th quarter coming up next. And the final period of play just about to start.
and did not seem happy about how things are going on right now, and maybe wants to make some changes.
I agree. I mean, just was not comfortable with the way things were set up at that particular time. And in that case, I think it's the right thing to do.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. Alvin Gentry had some words for his team over that last break. He told the players, let's put our foot on them and keep them down. We've got them exactly where we want them. I want to see you guys slow the pace, use the clock, and stay away from any silly fouls.
On the court for the Pelicans, getting the 4th quarter going. They've got Antetokounmpo. Paul George is out there with Brandon Knight. Then it's Young, and it's Noel in at the center, locking down the middle.
And for a power forward, he can sure get up. I mean, because of that leaping ability, it kind of offsets his height disadvantage.
And it's Nowitzki missing.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
The shot by Knight, no good.
Well, that's a warm-up jumper there. I mean, when you're a pro, you can't make excuses for missing that one. Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
Inside. Here's Antetokounmpo. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time. 9 points for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Dirk Nowitzki, he can dish the rock too.
The dish to Antetokounmpo. Feeds it to Noel. Outside, George. And the rejection by Jang. Now a timeout called by Houston.
And with the way the Warriors went on a rampage last year, you knew that Alvin Gentry would be in demand. Was the architect behind the Warriors' offense, is one of the best offensive minds in our league.
So for the Pelicans, Mahinmi comes in for Noel. And it's Garnett in for Thaddeus Young. Lowry has the open look. And the 3 off target.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down, try to get some easy ones. And another miss. Ooh, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right.
You know, no doubt last year a bit of a loss for Paul George. I mean, had to sit out most of it after that gruesome leg injury in the Team USA scrimmage.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. And at this point of the game, getting a break here, important for the teams to regroup, and for the players, this is where you have a chance to get rehydrated with Gatorade. Get ready to play strong to finish off the game.
What'd you say, baby? Why? Thanks. I love you.
Rockets trail by 7. And thinking back on George's injury, still a very graphic image in everyone's mind, but he was able to bounce back.
Yeah, it was great to see him get some game time before the end of the season after that horrific injury. A credit to him working as hard as he did, as well as to the training staff that got him back to be able to play before the end of the season.
And sometimes it feels like Brandon Knight is the Rodney Dangerfield of the NBA. The poor guy just doesn't get much respect.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. Through the end of last season, he'd already been on 3 teams in 5 years. On one hand, it may be disrespectful, but teams recognize his ability, too.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Jang. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Houston's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Lowry kicks to Winslow. Allen drives in. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And on the topic of Brandon Knight, you have to wonder why he's been traded around so much. I mean, it wasn't due to a slow start because he made the All-NBA rookie. First team. He's smart, has a strong work ethic, proved himself to be a clutch shooter in college, the kind of guy you normally wouldn't think about dealing for someone else. Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
It took a long time for him to get that first triple. Let's see now, though, if he can get going.
You know, talking about Brandon Knight, part of the reason he's been traded so often is because teams are offering great prospects in return. Detroit dealt him for Brandon Jennings, and Milwaukee dealt him for Michael Carter-Williams.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
And over the course of last season, and really the last decade, we have seen three-point shooting on the rise. Teams have been making the most of the efficiency of that shot, and it's a big part of successful offenses in the modern NBA.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Noel's checked in for Garnett. Oubre comes in for Antetokounmpo, and it's Russell in for Brandon Knight.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Timeout called the Rockets. And with the three-pointers, the best teams in the NBA are great, Adam Clark. All 4 of the conference finals teams from last year were tops in the NBA in 3.
Yeah, it's definitely a predominant stat in the NBA now. And you look at some of the numbers. Curry broke his own record for made threes in the season. The Rockets set the team record. It's a real part of the game that you have to be good at to succeed in the league.
Mills, he's checked in for Kyle Lowry. And Antetokounmpo's checked in for New Orleans. Rockets trail by 9. George against Allen. Up top, Jang. Pass to Winslow. The shot is off. And New Orleans will come the other way. They've held a 12-point lead earlier.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
Good.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
And they double up Russell. Antetokounmpo with the ball. Now guarded by Winslow. It's stolen by Allen. And here's the fast break. Winslow's leading the way. Yep, it goes in. The Pelican lead is cut down now to just 3 in the bucket from Ray Allen. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for Houston.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
You know, adding on to that, you look at their block totals tonight, and you see how feisty they've been on the defensive end this game.
Here's Winslow. That's in for his 8th bucket tonight. A hot 8 for 11 shooting so far.
That's what this team needs right now. Solid scoring chances.
Antetokounmpo dishes to Oubre. And here we go. Houston running again. Here's Mills. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Nowitzki. Mills has got 5 points in the quarter. Now a timeout called by New Orleans. They're behind by 1. 1:05 left in the 4th quarter. He's checked in for Houston. And then for New Orleans, Young comes in for Oubre. And it's Henderson for George. 1:05 left in the 4th quarter. Russell passes to Noel. Nowitzki with the steal. Allen with it. Back to Jang. Houston moving it around. Nowitzki kicks to Winslow. Lock at 6. Back to Nowitzki. The offensive rebound. Stolen by Winslow. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Lowry drives in. Here's Antetokounmpo. Money!
As clutch a shot as I have ever seen.
In a word, gutsy.
Now a timeout called by Houston. They're trailing by 1. 15 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
And really no need to rush. Still plenty of time to get a good look.
Well, if they've got a play that they use to get a quality shot, this is the time to run it.
15 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Here's Allen. Back to Jang. And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
That's right. No other option but to foul and hope for some misses.
Yeah, they have to extend the game. I mean, plain and simple. Use every second you can on the clock here.
Wow, that is a strong move there to go in for the dunk.
And I like the job the defense did to not let him have it. I mean, make him earn it at the line.
So he goes 2 for 2 at the line. And it's a 3-point game.
Big-time free throws there. That could be the difference. It forces them now into a 3-point attempt.
Now a timeout called by Houston. They're down by 3. 1 second left to play here in the 4th. Lowry from outside. Oh, he had a chance there to send it to overtime, but they...